Can you imagine if your drawings could come to life? This story holds a powerful moral you'll discover at the end. At the top of a windy hill lived Lino, a boy with color-stained fingers and a notebook so old it creaked when opened. Lino didn't like to talk, but his drawings spoke for him. His world lived in the pages, floating castles, winged cats, and smiling suns. One day, he found a golden pencil under his bed. He didn't remember seeing it before, but something about it shimmered like it was breathing. With that pencil, he drew a butterfly with crystal wings. As he finished the last stroke, the butterfly blinked and flew off the page. "Fly!" Lino shouted in awe as the butterfly landed on his finger, alive, real, magical. The notebook was no longer just his. Now it was a portal. From that day on, every stroke turned into life. He drew trees that grew in seconds, rivers that sang, and even a friend, Cluck, a fox with starry fur. Cluck didn't speak much, but his eyes knew how to listen. He followed Lino on every drawing board adventure. Inverted forests, floating cities, nearby moons. Everything seemed perfect until one day Lino accidentally drew a black shadow, faceless, moving on its own. "Don't erase it," whispered a voice from the notebook. But Lino hadn't written those words. The shadow stared at him with no eyes. At first, it seemed harmless. It stayed in the background, watching. But soon it began to erase what Lino had created. The singing river fell silent. The trees withered. Cluck began to slowly fade, as if he were being erased from the world. "What's happening?" Lino cried, but the notebook didn't answer. The golden pencil snapped in his hand, leaving behind a dark spark. Desperate, he tried to draw something to stop the shadow, but every stroke vanished before taking shape. Cluck, now almost invisible, whispered, "The shadow grows from what you hide. It can't live where there's truth." Lino understood. He had used the notebook to create, but had never drawn what he truly felt. His fears, his sadness, his longing to be understood. He opened the notebook to a new page and, with a simple gray pencil, began to draw the hardest thing, a broken heart. Then a lonely boy on a hill. After that, an outstretched hand. Each stroke hurt, but something inside him felt lighter. The shadow, seeing the honest drawings, began to dissolve like ink in the rain. Cluck began to shine again with a faint but steady light. Lino drew his school, his house, his parents smiling. But it wasn't fantasy anymore. It was his reality, transformed with hope. The notebook creaked softly again. The golden pencil never returned, but the gray one now traced with a special light. Cluck, though he knew he would soon return to the page, smiled. "Your power isn't in the pencil anymore, Lino. It's in you." The next day, Lino took his notebook to school. For the first time, he showed it to the other children. Everyone was amazed, but what touched them most was seeing feelings turned into images. "I felt that way too," said a girl. Soon, more children started drawing, not to create magical worlds, but to understand their own. Lino guided them with patience and joy. The old notebook filled with shared pages, some sad, others bright, all sincere, all alive. Although Cluck no longer came out of the paper, Lino drew him every day, grateful for his friendship and for teaching him to face his shadow. Since then, Lino became the boy who listened through drawings. His talent wasn't magical, it was honest. And whenever someone felt fear or doubt, Lino would lend them his gray pencil and say, "Draw what hurts, and you'll see it can heal too." His story became an inspiration, and the notebook, a bridge to many hearts that only needed one stroke to begin. Moral: true magic doesn't lie in what you invent, but in daring to draw what you truly feel. See you very soon with more magical stories that will make your imagination fly and touch your heart in every adventure.